speech enthusiast, and you're going after college kids. You got Pam Bondi, who's like blanking us on Jeffrey Epstein, but responding to like a kid that gets shoved by a girl on a college campus. He's wearing an IDF, so he's basically like wearing an IDF shirt, asking for it, and a girl gives him a little shove, and it requires Randy Fine and Pam Bondi to respond within minutes. You can't figure out the Epstein thing, but we've got like literally an Amber Alert. The feds are like able to answer quick. Like, I'm sorry, this is a joke. This is not what I voted for, and you're not going to struggle session me into they're like using the ghost.
He was going to do more.
This is what Charlie would want. This is what Charlie would want. It's like, was I born yesterday? I don't know, but all I know is that I don't care what happens. You're going to have to work for our vote. When we elect you, we're electing you for a certain job. You don't deliver on that job. Joke's on you. And I think right now the Trump family is feeling that. You know, you see that they are, I think, probably now in retrospect realizing how significant Charlie Kirk was, because he was damning that, right? Because everyone, even if you disagreed with him, people would play his clips. There was a level of respect that people had for Charlie Kirk because they sensed his authenticity. He was authentic, and you would sense that he would get stressed when he was being pressed not to be authentic, and that's now removed. And all we have are these puppets. And I'm including Trump amongst this. He has let his base down, and stop blaming Nick Fuentes, okay? I'm not a Nick Fuentes fan. Why can't Nick Fuentes have a platform? Why can't he have a conversation? Why can't he talk to Dave Smith and Tucker? The free market works like this, by the way, okay? If his ideas suck, then Nick Fuentes will be beaten the free markets. I don't need Nick Fuentes censored. I need you to actually deliver on your promises so that Nick Fuentes he wouldn't have a platform unless you guys were lying about something, right? Like, you're lying about something where people feel like they're not getting the truth from this person, and they're going and they're listening to more of Nick Fuentes. They sense that you're a liar. And so stop talking to me about this is Nick Fuentes' the grapers, you know, the anonymous frogs on the internet. This is their fault. No, this is your fault for not delivering on your promises. And one of those big promises was to protect speech, okay? And we see what you're doing. Redefining anti-Semitism on college campuses. Get out of my face.
All right, guys, let's take a moment and thank our sponsor for today's show, a brand new sponsor we're very happy to have on board, which is Rouget. Have you ever found yourself in that awkward situation of waiting to pick up a prescription at the pharmacy counter for an issue you would rather not announce to the whole world? An old lady standing behind you, and you wish the pharmacist's voice was a few degrees lower as she asks you personal questions about your health? Well, there's a better way, in fact, a next-gen solution, and unlike other popular brands, it's made right here in America. Meet Rouget Ready, the first ever ED treatment to prime the brain.
Okay, I'm going to have a little bonus for the members. I'm going to go. Let's hear this, and then I got some else to play.
Saying was that, look, he goes, even if you want to take the most generous interpretation of Adolf Hitler, if you want to find a way to try to be on his side, he's responsible for the people who died under his custody. And the point he was ultimately making was like, look,
here's how to get high when you're not 22 anymore. Let's be real. The days of sketchy dealers and mystery.
Israel, if you launch a war in Gaza and you don't have a plan for how to protect the civilians there, then you're responsible for their death. Like that, it doesn't matter in a sense whether you shot them in the head, or in the same sense where, like, if you kidnap someone and you lock them in your basement and just don't feed them and then they die, you murdered that person. It doesn't. You didn't just kidnap them now. Now you kidnapped and murdered them because you're responsible for that. It doesn't matter if you locked them down there and shot them in the head or just let them starve to death. You still put them in the situation where. So that was his point. And likewise to Donald Trump, it's like, whether you even know about any of this or not, you're still doing
responsible.
It. You've allowed your administration to be taken over by these guys. Now, look, I mean, I don't even think, to use an example about me, I don't think that Donald Trump watched my debate with Douglas Murray and then decided to promote Douglas Murray's book the next day. But somebody who's got access to Donald Trump's Twitter or whatever decided to, the next day, promote this book after it was like this. And, okay, whatever. Like, I didn't care. I kind of took that as a feather in my cap. Like, yeah, you got to call in the big dogs to try to get us out of this. But at the end of all of this, whatever it is, it's like the Trump administration here has obviously been much more captured by Netanyahu and Levin than by Candace Owens.
Yes, it's occupied. Everybody can see this is an occupied administration. And I love how they're I think right now I'm trending on X over this. Candace Owens says she regrets her vote. You're not going to shame me for saying everything you're doing is unacceptable. Try a mom on the Epstein stuff, okay? Try a mother. If you think I care more about loyalty to the MAGA cause than I care about pedophiles in positions of power getting away with it, you are out of your mind. You must have not listened to a single second of the Candace Owens podcast. You must have never listened to a thing I've ever said if you think that I am that blind and dumb and loyal to any person, left or right, that I'm gonna go, oh, okay, we gotta let pedophilia go. Okay, we gotta just move on. It's a hoax. You know, I know he actually went to prison for it, okay? But it's a hoax, and let's move on to it's a Democrat hoax. I mean, it is just, it's so insulting, and you are correct.
Very insulting. Very insulting.
Immediately tweeting out
To justify it in any way.
Prison for it, okay? But it's a hoax, and let's move on to it's a Democrat hoax. I mean, it is just, it's so insulting, and you are correct that you know that some of these things are coming from people around him, like immediately tweeting out. It was so disrespectful when Charlie died, a photo of Charlie AI. Do I think Donald Trump hopped on AI and made this photo of Charlie and him holding the Israeli-American flag combo? No. But I'm sorry, if you're not capable enough to control the people around you, then you shouldn't be in a position of power, okay? I don't get to, if something goes out on my account, right, and people go, oh, did this go on your account? And I don't get to go, oh, well, you know what? My producer had access to that. It's like, okay, but that's your account. So you take the blame, okay? The captain goes down with the ship, and we don't even know, you know, who's in control, but we know it's not Trump. So this is effectively like the Biden administration, but totally actually worse because Trump has his wits about him, right? So with Biden, at least we knew, right, that he had dementia before they admitted it. At least we knew he wasn't in control the whole time. It's almost worse because Trump doesn't have dementia, because Trump is actually sharp and he is aware and he is still occupied.
I think he do
calling the shots.
have parasites in the head.
And the fact that you know, these guys,
I think he do.
All of them, you know, like I've had this experience, right? Like I said, Josh Hammer, that's how he tried to debate me. That's how Stephen Crowder tried to debate me. This guy's not pro-Trump. We're the pro-Trump side. Ben Shapiro did like several segments on me over the years, and the running joke was that he would never say my name. He would do segments, not of just like me on your show or me on Rogan's show, or like on my show. Like he would do segments of my show and still go, this comedian who evidently says he's a libertarian. Like he would never say Dave Smith. It's a very complicated name, but he would never say it. But then the first time he ever said my name was when I called for Trump to be impeached after he launched the war in Iran. And then he goes, here's Dave Smith calling to it. And like, all I'm saying is like, you look at these Mark Levin and Ben Shapiro and Stephen Crowder and
I'm trying
all of
to get
them,
to it. Come on.
they were all the never Trumpers. Like, how stupid does everybody have to be? What, do you not remember the National Review piece, Never Trump, in 2016?
They weren't just never Trumpers, they stayed never Trumpers. They were pro-DeSantis.
Yes. And
then DeSantis lost, so they haven't won. The person that they have wanted to put in office, they have not had a winning philosophy.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden they're like trying to convince us that they're MAGA. I actually don't understand it.
No,
it's quite confusing.
Half of them pushed the Russiagate hoax. These were never Trumpers, and they were never Trumpers for a reason. Like, people just be, like, smart enough to see this for 1 second, right? Because it's funny when they come at me. Because, look, I'm not like, I voted for Trump this last time. I sat out the first two. I've always been like, but the thing is, because I'm to the MAGA of him. I'm to the non-intervention of him. Like when Donald Trump came out and said, we're not going to fight these wars. Iraq, you lied us into Iraq, blah, 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 but we'll still bomb them and we'll take the oil and we'll do this. I went, nope, too much. That's still too much intervention for me. Now, they rejected him because he was saying we shouldn't be so interventionist. I was over here like, you should be even more non-interventionist than that. Like, I want you to be Ron Paul. And so for them to sit here and say, it's like, yeah, dude, you guys all fought him over him signaling more in our direction of foreign policy, which is that we don't want to fight all these stupid wars. And it's like, yeah, they're trying to use this energy. It's like, so what do you guys want to do? You want to run on Mark Levin's platform? You want to run on Jeb Bush's platform? That's 1% in the polls, man. It's like, so they have to almost rely on running like us, but then, you know, like trying to, I don't know, demonize all of us or something.
It's infiltration. They have to like pretend, and then infiltrate, and then try to force like neocon, pro-military, pro-intervention, pro-democratic.
They have to infiltrate.
Or something.
It's infiltration. They have to like pretend.
Fight all these stupid wars. And it's like, yeah, they're trying to use this energy. It's like, so what do you guys want to do? You want to run on Mark Levin's platform? You want to run on Jeb Bush's platform? That's 1% in the polls, man. It's like, so they have to almost rely on running like us, but then, you know, like trying to, I don't know, demonize all of us or
Infiltrate.
something.
That's
But
it's infiltration. They have to like pretend, and then infiltrate, and then try to force like neocon, you know, pro-military, pro-intervention, nonstop bombing of some countries so we can steal their resources and pretend that there was some moral democratic reason that we were there. And people are awake to it. So I do wonder. It seems like they're playing checkers. It's nobody's believing that you're original MAGA. I mean, it's such a weird thing. It's like they're like, the problem are these people who actually got Trump elected when we were attacking him. Like the problem are these people. They're so extreme. We're right back.
They
like,
were
it's
very
hamsters on a
extreme
wheel,
when
right?
they
We're
were
just right back
running
to the
for
beginning
you.
here, and we're the basket of deplorables. Okay. Let's go. Like, and now it's like Trump, I guess, like I said, has joined Never Trump, or is being controlled by the Never Trump movement. It doesn't matter. Our eyes are clear on this. We know what we voted for. We know why we got behind Trump, and we know that we're not getting it. We're getting like Bitcoin stuff, like he's like pushing, and which is like completely crazy. And like, by the way, also
they getting what, Candace? They getting what? They getting the new coin for the new world order.
Matter. Our eyes are clear on this. We know what we voted for. We know why we got behind Trump, and we know that we're not getting it. We're getting like Bitcoin stuff, like he's
Bitcoin,
like pushing, and which is
Trump coins.
Crazy. And like, by the way, also you are taking advantage of people that believe in you the most. All of it is just so wrong, and it's so icky. We're aware of the deals that Jared is doing while you call us funded by Qatar. The deals that Jared is doing in the Middle East with Qatar and Israel.
Let's go.
They think we're this dumb. And I'm going, wow, like, did you always think we were this dumb? Or actually,
yes,
is it because you're occupied by the Never
yes. Candace. Yeah, precious news flash. Baby, well, I'm tell you one thing. When the blinders come off and we can clearly see, we can see. Do we understand? When the blinders are off, we can clearly see. Let me repeat it. When the blinders are off, we can clearly see what we clearly see. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. We see it now. Let's go.
And Israel, they think we're this dumb. And I'm going, wow, like, did you always think we were this dumb? Or actually, is it because you're occupied by the Never Trumpers? And the Never Trumpers have been explicit in the fact that they think that Trump people are dumb. But we're not this dumb, okay? The original MAGA party is not this dumb. We're aware of what you're doing. We're aware of the infiltration, and we are not going to support that.
Blinders are off.
The sad thing is, as Tucker said when he was on my show a few days ago, he said, you know, if you really ran on an America First message, it's going to be enormously popular, and not just with the right wing. I mean, you could carry half the left wing on that message, too. Maybe not all of them, but you could carry a whole lot of independents.
Well, baby, we know we ain't first or second or third. Oh, let's be clear. It's Israel first. Now I guess it's Qatar second. Putin third. Hell, he done made deals with Ukraine fourth, and China five. I mean, we way down there. You know why we way down there with Trump? Because it's at a point now that we are broke. The dollar is useless, right? So yeah, as far as he concerned, we ain't got enough money for him. So all of those people who are making offers and paying debt out for him, oh, they first. So we not first, second, third, fourth, or fifth. Okay, so for the ones who are members only, let's listen to this. Got a little bonus. This is how we gonna end.
Well, how is it that
we gonna end on that route? If you're in here and haven't hit the like button, please do so. I greatly appreciate it. I greatly appreciate you being here and able to get this tea, being a member only. You understand? Let's check it out. And wait a minute, this CMO3 trial is supposed to start tomorrow. For my Mo3 folk, I thought it had been moved to February. February. Gotta check that out. Long live Mo3. Long live Young Dog. Long live Charlie Kirk. Let's go. This is how we gonna end out, y'all.
Obviously, a lot of people are going to say these are Semitic conspiracy theories and tropes. Well, how is it that this is happening 100 years later? How is it that someone like a Candace Owens gets banned from Australia because of her Semitic rhetoric when Australia is like maybe 1 or 2%? How is it that we got students getting deported from the United States because of speech that criticizes Israel? They can burn an American flag, no problem, but then they burn an Israeli flag, they're getting deported. The reason why we can talk about this that we got students getting deported from the United States because of speech that criticizes Israel. They can burn an American flag, no problem, but then they burn from Australia because of her Semitic rhetoric when Australia is like maybe 1 or 2%. How is it that we got students getting deported from the United States because of speech that criticizes Israel? They can burn an American flag, no problem, but then they burn an Israeli flag, they're getting deported. The reason why we can talk about this now is because of what happened on October 7th. October 7th happened, people saw all these kids dying, they got red pilled on what's going on, they figured out the history. Anyone with a heart realizes this is
Justice
a
for
genocide
all.
and Israel's in the wrong. The youth are siding with Palestine. Israel doesn't hold the narrative anymore because mainstream media doesn't have the same level of tentacle power that it used to have, and they're panicking.
You called the Israel-Gaza conflict one of the most misunderstood events in modern history. If you had 2 minutes to explain without censorship, how would you describe what's actually going on?
There's a group of people that have an enormous amount of influence, power, and wealth, that have positions of authority in multiple first world countries, that are not necessarily loyal to their host nation, rather they are loyal to each other. They have been ostracized, removed, kicked out of, expelled out of hundreds of different societies over the course of time. And this has built up a resolve within themselves where they can only depend upon each other. And they will subvert their host nation and host people to support one another through nepotism, favorable practices, to assist each other to ensure their protection. That has culminated into what's now called the State of Israel.
Oh, hold
Within
on.
themselves where they can only
Hold
depend upon
on.
each other.
Did y'all catch that? Holla. He said a lot of good stuff up in there, didn't he? He said a lot of good stuff up in there. Can you say that for us again, my friend? Come on now. Say what now? Say what now?
Out of hundreds of different societies over the course of time. And this has built up a resolve within themselves where they can only depend upon each other. And they will loyal to their host nation, rather they are loyal to each other. They have been ostracized, removed, kicked out of, expelled out of hundreds of different societies over the course of time. And this has built up a resolve within themselves where they can positions of authority in multiple first world countries that are not necessarily loyal to their host nation, rather they are loyal to each other. They have been ostracized, removed, kicked out of, expelled out of hundreds of different societies over the course of time. And this has built up a resolve within themselves where they can only depend upon each other. And they will subvert their host nation and host people to support one another through nepotism, favorable practices, to assist each other to ensure their protection. That has culminated into what's now called the State of Israel. And whether you have someone who is in America or in Canada or in Australia,